Hello, folks out there. This episode of the podcast is partnered by Audible. Greg, you know what I love about Audible?
What do you love about Audible,
I
John?
don't have to pick up a book anymore and carry it around with me. In fact, I carry it around in my phone, which is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. They literally keep thousands of titles right on your phone, accessible at any time when you're driving, when you're cooking, when you're mowing the lawn, changing a diaper, doesn't matter. It's all right there at your fingertips, John. They've got podcasts, they've got lectures, they've got some like health and wellness and like fitness series on there that if you just are looking for something to fill that gap, like you're not getting into a book right now, it's all there for you, man.
If you're a member, Greg, what's cool about it is you get 3 titles per month. The first one, you can pick whatever you want. Like I've said, I'll probably start hitting up some of those health and wellness books. And then what's awesome is they have 2 Audible exclusives. Exclusives, folks. You can't get it anywhere else.
It's true. That is very true. So if you guys want to get on the Audible train, you can go to audibletrial.com/JATG. That stands for Johnny and the Greg. Hook yourself up with a 30-day free trial. No promises, no nothing. If you don't like it, which I can't imagine you're not going to like it, you can cancel at any time. But the great thing about that is the books you get during your free trial, or if at any time, those books are yours. Like you get to keep them. You can listen to them nonstop, anytime, all the time.
Sounds like a deal to me, man. So if you guys are smart, like I know you guys are, because you already listen to this podcast, sign yourself up, guys. What do you got to lose? It's 30-day free trial, and it's books, it's knowledge. Gotta drink it up.
It is. It is. So one more time, it is audibletrial.com/JATG.
We are back and better than ever, Johnny and the Greg. And today, Greg, this was an interesting one.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. This was probably the first time ever Greg and I literally have an argument to actually go against each other. It didn't get resolved, but it'll be fun for you guys to listen to.
Yeah.
But
it was something that we genuinely disagree on. Like neither one of us is taking a side just to take the opposite side. We disagree on it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's a lesson. We disagreed. We're still friends.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
and besides all that disagreement stuff, we actually had a guest on.
We did. It was like having your friend over and then you get in an argument with your brother or something. And you're just like, dude, shut up.
Yeah. Our guest was Matt Sampon
from the Town Cinema in Watertown, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and so we talked about the what Greg has called the Black Widow dilemma and what the future, immediate and down the line, is going to look for movie theaters and Disney Plus streaming services. So, without further ado, everybody, here you go, Johnny and the Greg. Congratulations, 2021 Milwaukee Bucks NBA champions.
Oh my goodness. What a week. I was in a bar a lot this week.
I bet you guys were. Matt, did you check that out or no?
I was able to watch the last game. That was it, because I was actually off that night. So I watched game 6.
Are you much of a basketball fan?
I would say fair weather, but this year I was on board from about the All-Star game on. It was just awesome to keep up with them.
Cool. Yeah, I think what's fun about a team like Milwaukee winning the championship, it brings out everybody because they just want to watch it. Like when the Cubs won the World Series, I could care less about baseball or the Chicago Cubs, but when they were in the World Series, I watched it.
Yeah.
Well,
it's your hometown team, man. I mean,
I don't know if it's so much of that as it is just that, God, it's like 101 years since they won. And like for the Bucks, I don't think they've won since you were alive, Greg. Am I right?
No, not at all. Matt either, for that matter.
Yeah.
No. So that's special.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's right. I kind of did chalk it up, like, because I was going to ask you if if the Black Sox were to go to the World Series, would
you mean White Sox? White Sox.
White Sox. Sorry. There's how much I know about baseball, folks. If they were to go to the World Series, would you care? And I don't.
Yeah, in fact, they did. I think in 2005, and I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen every championship in Chicago. Like I got the Bulls, I got the Blackhawks, I got the White Sox, I got the Cubs, I got the Bears.
What about your soccer team?
God, I don't. The last time I remember, I think they were the Chicago Sting. I remember that in the 80s, but I don't think they.
No, they're not anymore.
Yeah.
JJ Watt's wife plays for him, and the only reason
you mean the female? The female, obviously. He didn't marry a guy. He didn't marry a guy.
No, he did not. But I know Chicago's got a couple teams that play at Soldier Field because I was just down there, and that's like Soldier Field. That's all it was. Like there was some Bears stuff, but like all the banners and everything else was all soccer.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Johnny and the Greg podcast, everybody. Thank you for listening. Do us a favor, hit like and subscribe to get more of this just intriguing conversation we're having here
in your inbox every week.
Yeah. We have our guest today is Matt Sampon.
No.
How you doing, Matt?
Sampon.
Just Sampon.
Oh, Sampon.
Yep.
My fault.
That's all right.
I'll edit that out so I look cool. All right.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, no problem. We had we wanted to get you on because we have a topic that this is kind of the I guess the continuation of a discussion that we had the last time you were here. Before we get there, I want to ask you both. I know Greg has. Matt, did you watch Masters of the Universe on Netflix?
No, I didn't.
You did not. Is it something you're interested in or no?
No, not really.
Oh,
I mean, I probably will. I shouldn't say I'm not interested. I'm just going to say that it's okay if you guys want to talk about it. Because
you are a child of the 80s, sir.
Yeah, I know. And actually, I love the He-Man stuff. So it's I will watch it, but I just don't want to be that, party pooper where you guys can't talk about it in front of me.
Oh, okay. Because I think we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, which is totally fine. I'm going to watch it either way. Yeah. So don't worry.
We will.
It is fantastic. So spoiler alert to Matt.
And everybody else.
Yeah, and everybody else. There's some shit that goes down in this. It's part 1 of a 10 episode series. They split it up into 5 and 5. And I was actually listening to a podcast yesterday with the guy who voices Orko, who is he played Arthur in the Tick Amazon series.
Oh, okay.
Which was really, really good and got canceled. And it was him and Kevin Smith, and they talked about like it came out, and if you've been on the internet and you're hooked into any kind of 80s nostalgia or just nerd stuff in general, the trolls just came out of the woodwork. They crawled out from under their internet bridges and just started taking swipes at Kevin Smith. Because, and you'll notice this from the title is Masters of the Universe Revelations. It is not He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Revelations. He-Man's in it.
Did you double check that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just curious.
It's not much of a He-Man story. He's in it. He plays a major part. He is the crux of some major episodes. But this is the first part of this story is definitely Teela's journey, and a story around her making her the hero that she honestly always was in the original series. And this is a sequel. It's not a reboot. It's not a it is a sequel. It's a continuation of the original 1984 cartoon, not the New Adventures where He-Man went to space, or even the one that was on a Cartoon Network about
I really like that one.
Ago. That was good. For what
2002
was good. Was it 2002? Has it been that long?
Yeah, I looked it up to make sure I was going to say that right.
God. Yeah. Now, did you watch the whole thing, John?
I did. I watched episode 1 through 5.
Okay. So, I'm trying to, because I don't want to, well, I do want to spoil it, but it doesn't end here. Like, we have a whole nother section to go, and
we better.
Well, some things happen. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. The ending doesn't.
episode.
There's no feel good ending.
No, it is the Empire Strikes Back of the Masters of the Universe world, because the bad guys are definitely winning at the end of episode 5.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's my take. I look at it the way, Greg, you look at Black Widow.
Oh, really?
Yes, I looked at it. I'll be honest. I don't care if I ever see the next 5.
Oh.
Won't bother me one bit. I understand where these trolls you're talking about are coming out. I understand where they're upset. When I watched it, I didn't think it was any type of woke or any bullshit like that.
No.
If you really pay attention, it was Kevin Smith breaking down the supporting cast of He-Man.
Yes.
That's what they were doing. He was basically giving backstories, showing everybody that it's not just He-Man that saves the universe, it's everyone. So I completely understand that. Here's the thing. When I was a kid, the one toy you didn't get was Tila. That's the one you didn't collect. Unless you're an avid collector of the toy brand, of course, and you collect everyone that's there. But I don't care about Tila. I never have cared about Tila. I thought Duncan, Orko, were better. Man at Arms was always my guy. I love that guy. But I can see where people are getting upset because it's not He-Man versus Skeletor. And if they even kind of say it in the show, they say like He-Man was kind of a glory hound. Like Man at Arms was the guy that did everything, and I think that's where Kevin Smith was taking it, is that everybody, his supporting cast were the heroes. He-Man just kind of came in there. He was the one that I guess you could say got all the publicity. So it was an interesting take by Kevin Smith, but I understand why people are upset. Because they want to watch He-Man fight Skeletor. On another note, I wasn't impressed with Skeletor.
Oh, really?
I was watching the Joker. I wasn't watching Skeletor. I don't remember Skeletor ever having punchlines. In fact, there's one where he throws He-Man over the water and he's like, "I won't hold my breath." And he sounded if you closed your eyes, it's the Joker.
I didn't. No, he's gravelier than the Joker.
Oh, okay, Greg. Anyway,
he's got more of this in there.
He's the Joker. Every movie, every sound, it's the Joker. And I was like,
no.
Yes, it was.
No,
this is one of those situations where you're in so much love.
Much more talented than that.
No, he is more talented than that, but I don't think he was pushed. I don't think he knew what to do with Skeletor, because here's the thing: nobody knows what to do with these characters. We were just talking about this with Snake Eyes. Nobody really knows that character.
Well, you're right. That's why they're trying to give him backstory. But what I didn't want to hear is Mark Hamill going, meow. Like, I didn't want to hear that.
Yes, you don't want to hear that, but give me something. Don't give me the Joker.
He didn't give you the Joker.
He did. He had 7 to 8. He had 7 to 8 little wisecracks that the Joker would say, not Skeletor. When have you ever heard Skeletor do a little like?
He was Skeletor was always cracking wise and insulting.
No, he wasn't. It was always He-Man. He-Man was played perfect. He-Man was always the guy that sat there and said, "I hope you don't get
Welcome to our first fight, Matt, because Johnny is dead wrong."
No, I'm not. Skeletor was played. I'm a huge fan of Skeletor, and I didn't like how he was portrayed at all. At all. I liked the 2002 Skeletor. The 2002 Skeletor, they gave you a backstory. His real name was Kandor, and you saw his face get melted off because he made a deal with Hordak. That was awesome. That was creative. This is just kind of like, I don't know. I expected more. Maybe I'm going to get more. Maybe there's more with him as the
God Skeletor. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be interesting. I actually saw the toy. The toy is badass.
Yeah.
I actually saw the toy of it. It's like $30 at Target, but it's really cool. So,
the action figure market is totally going after people with adult money on this one.
Yes, they should. It's for those of you that loved He-Man, I think you should watch it and make up your own mind. I don't care. It didn't impress me that much.
Well, what's interesting is that everybody's going off.
Yeah.
On Kevin Smith, he's ruining He-Man.
I don't think
the whole raping my childhood bullshit, blah blah blah. You have half a story right now.
Correct.
You're literally judging it on half a season.
Yep.
Orko's final words were the exact same that Gandalf said in Lord of the Rings, his quote unquote Gandalf the Grey's
What did he say?
final
What did he say?
Back to the Darkness.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
When he vanquished the Balrog.
Okay.
You know, I send you back to the darkness kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's
no.
Word for word from Tolkien.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So is Orko going to come back like Gandalf? Probably.
I see.
Adam,
So
I don't
yeah.
know. Adam,
So yeah, Matt, there was again, I like that how he wanted to expand on the supporting cast.
Mhm.
I just don't think the guy. Okay. Because I see where you're coming from, Greg, but at the same time with me, I could give a shit about Tila. I don't care. Like, and this is the one thing that upsets me about her. She's so mad and destroyed. Her whole life has changed because she got lied to. That is so lame. I got lied to and she still won't drop it. It's like, dude, this isn't like I don't Matt, she sits there and she's the whole time she's pissed off about, she gives up everything she's ever believed in because she found out that Adam was He-Man.
Okay.
She's all pissed off about it.
Not just that Adam was He-Man, but that her father lied to her. And you got to keep in mind, Tila had just found out not that long ago, in terms of the whole story, that she was adopted.
Oh.
So she's already been lied to for that.
Right.
And now she finds out, well, in one day, she finds out that her best friend, Adam, is He-Man, who she kind of had a crush on. Her father knew about it and lied to her. Orko knew about it and lied to her. Cringer freaking knew about it and lied to her. The Queen had figured it out and lied to her. And so adopted, all those people knew. Oh, and He-Man and Adam die.
Oh my God.
You expected He-Man to just have 5 episodes of him punching shit.
Right.
No, I didn't expect that. I would have liked to have seen it because
you saw some of it.
That was what was popular. That's what carried this whole damn thing for so many years. That's what all the kids in the 80s collected. When they collected and they made up stories and action figures, they played their action figures. They didn't sit there and say, well, let's Tila be the. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have Tila here because I didn't collect her. Nobody cares about Tila. Nobody does.
I wouldn't.
Sometimes you ended up with her from a garage sale. You know, she was
exactly.
the only one left.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
I always wondered why she had like the big snake armor that they never brought.
That's a good point. That's
maybe that's coming up in episode 6 or something. But
yeah.
I think you had some unmet expectations and you're upset about it.
Had zero expectations, actually, because I heard all this bad stuff. And then I heard you say you got giddy. So I was in the middle.
Yeah, I did. I
watched it.
When
I watched
Adam
it.
transformed into He-Man in the first episode, I was like, oh, this is cool.
I just watched it and thought, okay.
And then as the story progressed, there like multiple times in those 5 episodes, I was like, whoa, like, holy shit, did not see that coming. And was
the ending I
it.
didn't see. The ending I didn't see coming.
You mean the midway? It's not the ending.
Okay. The episode 5. Yeah. I didn't see that. I was actually a little happy. I was like, oh, good.
Yeah. I think I think it's good. I think, again, when we talk about bottom lines, and Matt, you can certainly attest this, doesn't matter if it's good or bad. If people watch it and it makes money, we're gonna get more of it.
And people are talking about it, so that's a big thing too.
I don't know if that's necessarily true, right? Because okay, everybody hates the last 3 Star Wars. In fact, there's rumblings of them trying to actually erase those 3 movies from existence.
Sure,
so I don't know if that's true,
but they made money.
That's true.
Right. They made money. They made money, but
they made billions in the film, and they made billions upon billions in merchandising.
Correct. But that's only going to go so far. People are going to end up going, no, this thing sucks.
Doesn't matter whether it sucked or not.
I think the fans will still go see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So even if you know it's going to continue on, it's going to be bad, you're going to go still see it?
Yes.
They will. For Star Wars, yes. I'm going to go.
I would not do that.
Yep.
If I knew Marvel sucked, I wouldn't go back and watch it.
Dude, you could have a re-release of Star Wars in the theaters, and people are going to show up for at least a couple weekends.
Are you talking about the re-release of the
Yes,
original 3?
all of them. Go back.
Well, no,
to
that's unfair.
episode.
Yeah, that's
go back
unfair.
to
I think it's
episode 1 all the way through 9.
Okay,
People
well,
are
now
gonna
you're adding in
show
all
up.
the good ones. That's like saying the same thing with Indiana Jones. Wow, we are actually arguing this, Ron. This is awesome. We've never done this. We've never done this. I totally disagree with that.
I feel bad Matt's not talking though.
No, hey, I'm
No,
just
what do you think, Matt?
enjoying
You
it.
think I think Greg has a great point. I think he's right if you were to do all of them, re-release them. But if you release the last 3, I don't think it does that
People
well.
are showing up.
I think people are showing up, but I
As
don't
much
think-
as it would for the
not
last 3.
not as well as 4, 5, and 6 though.
That's my point.
Right.
Oh, so it's only going to make like mid 500 millions instead of.
Those are
course,
the
it's gonna
people
make
that
a
are
ton
still
of money.
blind. I would
Yeah.
call them blind Star Wars fans. The same people. I mean, my sister's one of them. It doesn't. My sister will go no matter what happens.
And there are millions of people like your sister.
Right. I know. But yeah. Okay. I'll just take the L there. That's
It
fine.
doesn't. It's going to
just-
make money.
Yeah.
Money.
But yeah, I didn't think He-Man was bad. I just didn't think it was great.
I think
That's all.
compared to, I loved it, especially compared to some of the other things that Netflix has put out, where you're like, holy crap, this is god awful. I mean,
Speaking of god awful, did you watch that vampire airplane movie?
I did. I watched it today.
Okay. I was watching it, but I waited to shut off. Gwen woke up. Did you watch that, Matt?
No.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Do you know
We're
what
going
it
to
is?
get
I didn't do
onto
my
our
homework,
actual
apparently.
subject. We're going to get onto our actual subject.
Have you seen the trailer for it?
No, I haven't even seen the trailer.
Oh,
It's called, what is it? Blood in the Air? Blood
Red Sky? Something like
Blood
that?
Red Sky. There you go.
Is that it?
Think vampires on a plane, and that's what you got. It's a German movie. I actually I wanted to look it up. It was a German-made film that Netflix bought for distribution.
Yeah.
Dubbed it over, and
I'm an hour in. I paused it. I realized I have an hour left. And I was like,
it's a 2-hour and 3-minute movie.
yeah.
I mean,
And I was like, oh, okay. I'm going to have to watch this later. But
Which
I
made
was
me-
intrigued.
I was a little worried. Did you watch Singularity with Anthony Mackie?
No.
That one, again, looked really good. Special effects looked really cool. He's like he's an AI. He's a robotic AI.
Oh, I saw
Like
the trailer for this.
super
Yeah.
soldier kind of thing. I think that movie was about 2 hours, which made it about I'd say an hour. Well, it made it about 40 minutes too long. Like the last 40 minutes of that film really dragged. So when I saw this was 2 hours, I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
But it was good. Like
Okay.
from beginning
Good.
to end. A little bit at the end, like the last 10 minutes, you're like, okay, where are they going with this? Is this going to happen? Is it not going to happen? And then it ends like just in time for you to, before you'd be like, come on, hurry the fuck up. I mean, it ends.
Okay.
But speaking of money, John.
Yeah.
The real reason we bought Matt on the show.
Yeah, we have a
one-
guest, people.
One is because we love Matt and I love what you do and you're fun to have on. But what has become the Black Widow dilemma is kind of what I've been calling it.
Okay.
It came out in the theater, did well, right? You guys did well with Black Widow.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
Disney Plus that put it out in their premiere access did pretty well too, and I believe it was to the tune of 60 million that it did on Disney Plus. And so it's kind of a two-pronged issue. One was that 60 million could have been in the theaters, is what a lot of people are saying. Like the people that were paying that, they would have went and saw it in a theater. The other thing that came up, and John tuned into this, was the piracy issue. So a lot of people that have even just basic screen capture on their laptops or anything like that, they can hit record, get that HD version of Black Widow, and it hit the market or the black market, copies and everything like that super quick. And so that was what I believe is it not BAFTA. It's the
NATO, actually.
NATO. There you go. Yeah.
I was shocked, honestly. I think last time I was on here, I talked about how I've been waiting for NATO to say something because, they're supposed to represent all of us. And
NATO stands for the
National Association of Movie Owners or Theater Owners. Yeah.
Theater Owners. There you go.
Yeah. And yeah, they finally said something, and they finally said that they're not happy with, or they think that this model from Disney is not working, and it's hurting us, and it's affecting the theater box office big time.
Yep.
Well, I think this is really interesting because I called Greg up when I heard about this because I guess Black Widow, its second week, dropped like 67% from its original release, and that doesn't happen with a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people were sitting there trying to figure out why, and that's when your friends at NATO said, well, "This is why. Look at this model. Look at this," and they're right. I think they're absolutely right, and I think it adds to the argument that you two have been kind of like spearheading on this, at least on this podcast, is
Right.
that it's one of those situations, Greg. It's one of those situations again, Greg, where I love this this quote by the guy from Jurassic Park. They got so excited thinking that they didn't think about if we should.
Right.
And I think they're getting hit now because, Greg, the other thing I didn't think about was VOD. That's gone. You don't get that here. Because walk me through this, Matt. You have Black Widow. Now, does it stay in there like for 45 weeks? How long is it staying? Not 45 weeks. How long does it stay in the theater?
Right?
Yeah, it's like 45 days.
Okay,
normally.
45 days. Then what? Video on demand in like 2 months?
Yeah, that's normally how it would go.
And then another like video on demand for what? A month, and then it goes on to DVD?
Right, DVD normally about 6 months.
Okay,
right around
so
there.
there is all these steps that because Disney Plus threw this on there, and you only have to pay one time
Right.
of a $30.99.
Which I wasn't aware of. I thought it was $30.99 and you got it for like 24 hours, but it's not. It's yours, right? I mean, forevermore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this model is it clearly doesn't work, especially, and I've heard that because of what happened to Black Widow, they're thinking of delaying Spider-Man No Way Home simply because they expect, because they're basically splitting the pot with Sony on that one.
Yeah.
Right.
Sony and Marvel are splitting the pot on that, so they need to make at least I've heard some things like they have to make a billion dollar worldwide gross. That's possible, but I don't think that's possible in this day and age right now, this second, especially when I'm hearing the president's getting a little itchy in terms of putting another like shutting things down again.
Yeah.
So they're real scared about basically I hear Disney's not doing it anymore. The last one to go through it is Jungle Cruise.
Right.
That's the last one that's going to be on.
Is that official?
Yeah.
Is that official?
Well, actually, the last thing I heard was that that's what they think they're going to do on their last shareholder call, which was like just a couple days ago. That's the model that they're going to probably go with and not do the premium on demand anymore. But it's not, from what I know of, it's not officially their stance on it. I hope it is.
Because I'm looking at a article in Variety that's about this entire topic, and because that's what I'm trying to find. Is I had heard, yes, like buzzings within Disney, and it must be that shareholders meeting where they're saying, let's not do that anymore. Let's go back to I think they'll probably stick to that 45-day possibly, but they want to go back to just theatrical releases so that they can make their money. But I haven't heard an official Disney announcement yet. So until that officially comes out, I mean, I'm sure they're trying to tweak whatever. But
or maybe they're seeing how Jungle Cruise goes.
I think Jungle Cruise looks terrible.
Me too. I think it's a Pirates of the Caribbean ripoff.
Yeah, I see that. I actually thought the first trailers looked really bad. The last trailer that came out, I thought it looked at least serviceable for a good time, but I don't know.
Can you guys think of, just going off the track a little bit, can you guys think of a star that can bomb as much as that guy can and still command a huge salary and still be in big movies?
Yep.
No, I don't think there is one.
Right? He's like Teflon. Every other movie star that I've ever paid attention to, like, they have to continuously make hits or else their box office bankability is gone.
Right.
You know,
It's interesting you say Teflon because his shit movies do not stick to him at all. They
Yes,
just slide
just-
right off.
Yeah.
like, oh, I love The Rock. Really? What's the last
Really?
good movie he was in?
What was that? What was that? Was
San Andreas, man. It
San
was
Andreas.
amazing.
I'm like, Earthquake? Was that the name of it? No, that wasn't it. It was San Andreas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God, that was awful.
So bad.
I actually like the one where he's in the skyscraper. But here's the
Oh,
thing, I liked
Skyscraper?
it. Yeah, I liked it, but I will never watch it again.
Yeah.
Like I liked it, but I will never watch it again.
As
But
soon
going
as I
back to
saw that he was supposed to be missing a leg, and I'm like, oh, this whole movie is bullshit.
yeah, well, it's The
Yeah.
Rock. He can
Yeah.
jump from a crane to a window.
Absolutely.
Anyway, but speaking of watching it again, I think that's killing Black Widow too, because it's like Greg was saying, there's a lot of piracy out there, and what during that 45 days, I think what's really helped Marvel is, oh, that's a good movie. Oh, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, cool, I'll go with you. And
Right.
now, you know,
Yeah.
you get that repeat business that is gone. People go see it once in the theater, and then they're back. I even told Ursula, because I wasn't thinking. I just said, honey, it's a really good movie. If you want to, let's purchase it on, so you can see it. And we're not going to the theater to see it again. So what I'm saying is if we go on Disney Plus and purchase it. But
Right.
now I
Well-
feel like maybe I shouldn't do that because I want to see these movies. I don't want these keep getting delayed. So this
Yeah.
is a really good reason to go to your movie theater, watch it. Do you think the way things are going right now where it's like the theater I walked into, they didn't pack the theater. There was still,
You're
like,
still distancing?
yeah,
Like,
they still distance it. Do you think that hurt as well? Obviously, but do you think that has more of a number than basically this Disney Plus thing, Matt?
Well, I think I'm sure it affected some of the bigger theaters in the bigger areas. I know, like for us personally, we're ecstatic if we hit 50% without even trying to do it that way. But we have no restrictions right now, and
Were they
know,
packed?
it wasn't packed by any stretch. But for us, we were happy with the numbers.
Okay.
And this was also one of the first real big movies to come out
Right.
that post pandemic to kind of see where we're at, other
Yeah.
than Fast 9, of course.
Did that do well?
It did really well, but
yeah.
not my movie.
Fuck them. I don't like that shit.
Well, what's interesting is Fast 9 is the first and only movie so far that we've played that wasn't streaming at the same time, because everything else that we
Yeah.
played has been somewhere else. Even Boss Baby was on like
Oh.
Peacock or something like that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I thought Fast 9 did.
F9,
No, F9 didn't.
Nope.
No.
no,
Huh.
it was only in theaters. So it was kind of interesting to me the fact that our numbers were so good for F9, and they were good for Black Widow, but it tells me we're getting affected by this stuff, and I assumed we were, but those numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is going to be the case with like Dune, which is that theatrical only still?
No, it's
No.
Warner Brothers hasn't changed any of their stuff. As a matter of fact, they even just came out and said they're putting out another 10 movies in 2022,
Wow.
the same day. So no,
I
Dune
thought-
is not going. It's going to both.
I thought that was
Whoa.
was because that's Dennis
Yeah,
Villanueva, right?
Yeah.
Villanueva.
yeah.
I thought that was his stance. Was absolutely not. I mean,
It was
the
their
actor's
stance until
portable.
they got a nice settlement. So there was no stance anymore.
Fucking money.
I know, right?
We're stupid excited for that film. I mean,
Yeah,
and
me
even
too.
with the new trailer that came out and all those the new movie posters and stuff. By the
Oh,
way,
yeah, I'm
if you get a Paul movie poster, I wouldn't mind that.
All right, sounds good.
Actually, it's my daughter that won't mind that, but that makes me look good as a dad.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of where we're at with these different streamers, and and Johnny, I think you hit it right on the spot with the whole repeat customers, not having. I mean, I used to have Greg come in for a movie 3 times sometimes. You know,
I personally think Greg's the only reason that nobody did well.
that's very possible.
Because I've heard every time I've talked to him, he's like, "Oh, I just saw that again." I'm like, "Did you go to the theater?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, okay, that's at least $200 right there, Greg.
Just kept bringing more people with them. You know,
Yeah.
oh, you haven't seen this one? It's a guy off the street.
Sure. Yeah.
I got,
Yeah.
Come on, buddy. You
yeah,
and me.
right.
Yeah, but we wanted to talk just because we just felt like, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about NATO? Do you think it's too late for them jumping up on this, or were you waiting for a big movie that was supposed to be big for it to all of a sudden fall and go, aha?
I was waiting for the last time that we did our podcast in February. I feel like they should have said something way back then when Disney came out with this plan and Warner Brothers came out with this plan. It was like NATO, you know, the fact that everyone's changing their terms with us, and we talked about it last time. There was all these agreements that just got broken without any of our, you know, understanding or knowledge to it, and NATO just stayed quiet throughout the whole thing. And the fact that they finally said something, it's great. I mean, it's not going to get us anywhere, most likely. The fact that they're, you know, kind of ripping on Disney is a huge thing, but in the long run, what's it really going to do?
Oh,
Do you
really?
think-
So you don't think this turns the tide? See, I think it does. I think it might.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think
Well,
What kind of power does NATO have?
I mean, not a lot, because here's the thing: if Disney puts out a movie, we're going to want to play it because it's going to make us money. So whether they're on good terms with us or not, we will, you know, we will kneel before the mouse and play whatever they throw at us.
You mean bend over for the mouse?
Well, that's
And I think once upon a time NATO had that power where they could say, "Oh, you want to change your terms, you do this, you're going to do that." Then they could have those big chain movie houses be like, "Fine, we won't play your movie,"
right.
and that did affect them. But now, fine, we won't play your movie, and they're going to say, "Fine, we'll put it on our streaming service."
do you think Disney's going to say, okay, guys, we learned from this. This is what we're going to do now. Now you have to pay every time you want to see it until the 45 days is up on Disney Plus.
I think that's a possibility.
I can see that.
Like something along, like you rent it. Well, it's like what Amazon does. You rent a movie, you got it for 24 hours. That 24 hours starts when you
Press play
the first time.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. Maybe their technology isn't there yet. Like they haven't figured out how to do that on their streaming service, although it's Disney, so I'd be shocked. But I could see something like that. But still, even with that model, the theater made more money. Like, I think they're realizing that there is still monetary value to going to the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Which is great. I mean, that's what you guys want. I honestly, you know what? It's funny, when I walked into Black Widow and I sat down, and then the Marvel Studios logo came out. You know, the dun 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 dun. You know, it starts going through the. You know, I got chills. So I was like, oh shit, that's Greg's right. Like this gives me chills. Like, and you don't get that watching it at home. You just don't. Right. And so I sat there. I believe I clapped and said, "Oh my God, I've missed this. It's about time." And I said that out loud, and everybody was clapping with me. So there is this, you're right, there's this definite experience at the theater that you can't replicate. Even if you were to throw a Black Widow party at your house and invite, you know, your neighbors over for you guys to sit down and watch popcorn and watch it, it's not the same. It's just not. So I hope it turns around, because, you know, if these movies aren't making a lot of money, that might be the end.
The end of movies?
I don't know. Like, okay, let's just talk about this for a second, all right? Let's just play devil's advocate here. Let's say the next Marvel movie that comes out, Shang-Chi, it doesn't do well because they're still sticking with that model. So they're losing money now. You know, they're either going to change the model, or what's the other alternative?
well, it's always going to be a battle between TV and, or well, when I say TV, I mean like streaming service.
Yes,
so
I
at
understand.
home.
Yeah.
That's always going to be the battle, and you can take that back to the 50s, like when the TV first came out and people were watching, public television. The movie theater industry was in a bind. They're
Freaking
like,
out.
oh, well, yeah, they're like, oh my god, how are we gonna survive this? When
Yeah.
people
So was
can watch-
radio.
Yeah, and all of those mediums are still around, and like the movie theater, like the studios got wise of like how to beat TV.
Yeah.
They started to change things up, and I think that's going to be the same thing here. Like
Okay.
there's gonna be a way.
Something's going to change. Yeah.
Well, I say that without really realizing it when it was TV versus movies, studios were different.
That's true.
Like it wasn't the same people.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
that's
I mean,
absolutely true.
how much did Black Widow do so far this weekend? Because I haven't actually looked at the numbers, but I mean,
You know
their
what? Let's
budget
take a
was
look.
what, 150, right?
Mhm.
150 plus marketing. So, so that last weekend they were at like 80 or something like that. So I guess my question is, if they are relying only on movie theater for the box office, they're never going to even break even,
Yeah.
let alone make money.
Well, I heard that it was the first time Disney ever actually announced what they were doing on their streaming service with Black Widow. It was the first time they ever announced it. They didn't announce it with Cruella. They didn't announce it
Right.
with Raya. They didn't announce it with Mulan.
Right.
And so I heard that pissed off NATO. And so NATO really was looking. How much, Greg?
All right. So just going through the top 6 box office, Old took the top box office with 17 million. Snake Eyes came in second with 13. Black Widow was third with 12.
Wow.
Space Jam with 9.6. Fast 9 for 4.7. And Escape Room 3.4. So for end of July movie numbers, it's still pretty down.
That's
Yeah.
really down. 17 was it?
17 million was the top movie.
Yeah, that's not good. Well, first off, I kind of know about Old. I heard that's shitty. I heard that.
I didn't look anything up.
I heard you know what, when it came to that one, I didn't actually watch it. I actually read the plot on Wikipedia. And I read the plot and went, no, he strikes out again.
And well, that's been his MO for the last few, so
Yeah.
I'm not too
He
surprised.
tries to connect it to
I
another
liked-
one of his movies, FYI. Just
I like Split and I like Glass.
Split
yeah,
was
I forgot about those.
fantastic.
Yeah, I like those.
Those were, but he's a real hit and miss.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
since Avatar, his last Airbender movie, which was god awful.
Hey, Matt, are you allowed to tell us what trailers you have?
Yeah. Yeah.
You are. Do you have Spider-Man No Way Home?
No.
Have you
Nobody's
heard
got
any
it.
news of when it's coming?
No. Haven't heard anything.
Okay. Are you
No.
going to let us know when you do?
Sure.
Cool.
Although I'll be honest with you, we get them normally about a week after they're already leaked online. So
okay.
I'm not much of use for that. What I do is I don't watch it online, and I only watch it on the big screen though, because for me, like to see them on the big screen, that's pretty epic.
Well, yeah, if that's your office, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But if
My
my
living room.
office is in my car, I'm looking at my phone on
Okay,
YouTube.
yeah, no, I get it.
But yeah,
I just- do I want
okay,
it
cool.
on one screen or my big one, my laptop?
Because
Yeah,
I've heard, I mean, this is becoming the biggest thing now. I'm afraid that when we see it, no matter what, we're going to go, oh.
Well,
They're
my
building
theory
it way
is
too much.
The multiverse, I mean, with what is going on with Loki and stuff, I think now that they've kind of opened up the end of that kind of thing, maybe now they can start talking about Spider-Man.
Yes.
Because if that's what they're doing, it would make sense to
I'm
bring that
afraid
up.
that they're afraid Spider-Man might be dwarfing the 2 movies that are coming before.
well, that has something to say. I mean,
Not a
because
lot of people are talking about Shang-Chi.
see, I like Shang because I'm a kung fu movie guy.
Yeah, I'm dying to see that. I can't wait.
Oh, I think it's going to be great. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be. Yeah, I'm looking forward
Good.
to it. Was that was was that one of those highly delayed movies as well? I can't remember. It's
No.
been so long.
I don't think
No.
Shang-Chi was delayed at all.
So
No.
so what I'm trying to get at here is Shang-Chi that is in line with
The order, you mean?
Like, yeah, like this takes place after the
I-
multiverse split.
I wish I could pretend like I know. I don't. I have no idea if this is
Or
right
maybe
after
it's
the
that
multiverse
concurrent. I'm wondering if we're going to see some sort of multiverse play
thing.
happening.
Yeah.
I just remember with the shifts of all the dates, it always was before Eternals, no matter what.
Yeah.
what
Okay.
happened. So that's the only thing that I kind of feel like it's probably still in line in that
Yeah.
sense.
I feel with Eternals, I think how the rest of the world felt when Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
Probably.
They know it's a Marvel film. They have some pretty good idea of what to expect from a Marvel film. They know jack shit about any of the characters.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, I was thinking about this the other day in terms of the MCU. Okay, where do you think it grabbed everybody and everybody just accepted everything that happened from that point? Like what I'm saying is, okay, everybody can say Iron Man was the one that started it. Yes, it did. But what movie after that made people go, whatever you give me, I'm going to take it? Because what I'm saying is, I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy, if that didn't come out, we wouldn't have really accepted Infinity War that well.
That's true.
Okay.
Like it opened up space, and I don't know how else they would have done that. And I think
Right.
I'm wondering if the Internals are going to be one of those movies that open up something else that we're not. I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I
I'm
get
with
it.
you, Greg. I think a lot of people, in fact, I'm one of them that looks at the Internals. I think you and I have had conversation. We're like, who are these people? Like, what is
Right.
this? I heard little small things of Guardians of the Galaxy my entire life, but
Right.
I think that was the movie that said, okay, cool, we can do space now.
Yeah.
I think it was Avengers.
Avengers, the first one.
I really do. I think it was Avengers because it was the first time. Like I know, yes, they set up with Captain America and
Yeah.
Thor and
Yeah.
2 Iron Man films at that point. I think that when Avengers came out, it was one of those things where it showed us that you can handle all of these big characters in a movie, give them each moments in the film that are meaningful and still have it work.
Okay. What do you think, Matt?
I mean, not to piggyback off you, Greg, but yeah, for me it was Avengers for sure,
Avengers.
because that was the one where, to me, it was like, if they pull this off, like holy shit,
Yeah.
the possibilities. And obviously in my book they pulled it off, having all those different characters, like you said, be able to have their own story and have their own moments within that movie, but feel like you had equal screen time for all of them, and setting up the next biggest thing. And at that point we didn't even know, obviously, how much of a setup that really was,
Yeah.
Right.
You're right. Do you think they did?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think Feige he's already trying to figure out phase 6?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I wonder about that. I wonder, like, because I don't think they thought, because they seem to rush Iron Man 2 real quick. So that tells me that wasn't part of the plan. That was just let's put this in here and add some more stuff to it.
That's true too. Yeah.
I think it is, here's our outline
Yeah.
with plenty of room to pivot
Okay.
when we need to.
That would probably be the smartest way to go.
Because you're right, they did rush Iron Man 2, and even Jon Favreau said we rushed it.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time, it was like they rushed it because they weren't expecting the absolute giant hit that Iron Man was. Even though they had, because it went Iron Man and then Captain America, right? First Avenger, or was it Thor first?
It was Thor.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sorry. It went Iron Man, Hulk, because Tony
Hulk.
Stark walks in at the end.
And that
has-
was a pivot. That was a pivot.
That was
Because
a pivot?
that end credit scene in Incredible Hulk
Yeah.
was, oh, this is working. Let's throw him in. Let's do this
Okay.
end credit scene.
Okay. Then it went Iron Man 2, and then it went
First Avenger.
no.
Thor?
No, Thor. First Avenger was right after First Avenger goes right into the Avengers.
You're right. Okay. So I think somewhere around, well, probably around Thor
Yeah.
is when they're like, okay, we're starting to build up steam. We can pull this together. I think movies were starting to get greenlit a lot faster
Uh-huh.
because they now trusted that creative team. They trusted
Right.
that,
Yeah.
Feige's
You think
storyline.
Spider-Man Homecoming was a pivot?
Well, that was hinging on a deal with Sony.
Yeah. But I thought immediately after he made a hit in Civil War, it was like, and next spring. And you're like, what? It's coming that fast? But
Yeah.
anyway, that's not the point. But
Well,
I was just curious about that.
Again, I mean, when we're working like season to season, they're working years, like 2 years out, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. All right.
so there are people in Hollywood that know Phase 6. Like they
Yeah.
know how this whole multiverse thing is going to play out, and then moving into. So
Yeah.
those NDAs must just be giant.
Those what?
NDAs, non-disclosure agreements.
so
that they
Oh,
make
yeah.
people sign.
Yes. Yes. I've heard they have to hand out fake stuff now because they have people that can't keep secrets.
Yeah, upon pain of death. Well, even what was it, Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah. Ruffalo and Holland are horrible at it.
Oh, I can't remember what movie it was, but Ruffalo was streaming like the first 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Like he had his phone in his pocket, but he didn't hit end on like a FaceTime. He's like, hey, we're here at the premiere of blah, 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 blah. And then
No way.
like somebody from the studio came up to him and they're like, kind of like hitting him. They're like, your phone. And he's like, what? They're like, your phone. And he pulls it out and he sees his own face. And then he realizes he was streaming like 20 minutes
Oh my God.
of the movie. Like just the audio, but
Just the audio then, huh?
yeah, but everybody was like, I can't remember what movie it was. Oh, it may have been Ragnarok.
Maybe. Yeah. I do know that now that they don't let them all read the script because I know the only one that knew everything that was going to happen was Robert. Everybody else got scripts, like little parts. Like this is just your part.
Your part?
Yeah. This is why you should feel this way. Go. So
How
Matt,
cool is it that Marvel's able to just have so many different kinds of directors and so many different kind of backgrounds to put together these movies and still have them be so in sync with each other, minus Ragnarok.
You're right. What I'm impressed with is it's always young directors. Like they pull people out that don't have a lot of experience, but they have some. It's just not a lot.
Well, kind of. I mean, when Kenneth Branagh first did Thor, to me, that added like weight to Thor.
Yes.
They got Kenneth Branagh to do Thor?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, I think
That's a
that
good
brought
point.
in some name recognition, and Thor was, I think Thor's a good movie.
Right.
And then they started to like shake it up. Yeah, yeah. The guy that did Swingers is going to do Iron Man. You're like, what? Really?
What?
Yeah.
The guy from Zathura?
Or the guys that are doing Captain America Winter Soldier did Me, Myself, and Dupree.
Oh,
and you're like, what?
Are you sure?
This is gonna suck. But anyway, Matt, I was just gonna ask you something. You saw Snake Eyes. What'd you think?
Yep. Okay, so you actually brought it up with the other YouTuber, and yeah, the whole shaky cam thing, oh man, it drives me nuts. And it's like, if you can't do the stunts, then don't put them in the movie or have someone else play.
Yeah.
Get a
stuntman that can do it.
Yeah,
Greg,
exactly.
Did you see it or no?
No, and see, this is where I get torn, Matt. I'm like, I want to come in and support Matt and watch a movie at his theater, but I'm like, holy shit, I don't want to see Snake Eyes anymore.
It's not terrible though. I would definitely not call it a terrible movie. I wouldn't even call it a bad movie. You have to get over the whole shaky cam thing.
Yeah.
I thought the story was still good, but they changed everything about what we don't know about Snake Eyes.
Yeah, really. All that mystery is gone. Well, even when they brought him out, they're like, Snake Eyes is talking.
Right.
The whole time?
You
Because
can
he's not
see.
supposed to talk at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, huh?
Okay, Matt, spoil it a little bit for Greg. Tell him of a guy that's in there that we were talking about before, and we were like shocked that that guy wasn't Snake Eyes.
Okay, so if I say the name Eco, the for his first name, does that ring a bell for you?
Are we talking about an actor or a character?
Actor.
Ego. Well, there's, yeah. I mean, from I know Ego from the Raid.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That guy. Okay.
He's in the movie, and he's
Well-
underutilized, and he should be Snake Eyes. I mean,
Yeah.
he can do everything that they have, Henry Golding supposedly doing or whatever.
I can see it just blowing up in your head, Greg.
Yeah,
What?
because Ego. I placed the Hard Master.
The Hard Master, which has a scene.
I mean, it's Ego US. I mean, that's, oh my God, that's
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Holy cow! Oh man.
He goes, hey, have you seen the Raid 2 before you jumped on? I'm like, yeah, Greg and I talk about it religiously on this show. And he goes, yeah, that guy in there, has a bit part in Snake Eyes. And I was like, why isn't he
bit
Snake Eyes?
hard. Yeah, I mean, as soon as they should have had Henry Golding put the suit on, and then Ego's the one in the suit.
Right.
Thank you.
Because, dude, that guy is.
Yeah.
For a minute
And
there,
his scene is pretty cool, but I mean, still, yeah.
when you
Yeah.
said Ego, I first went to Ichi, the guy who was like, he's got the big Fu Manchu. He's from Big Trouble in Little China and
Oh,
Lethal Weapon.
yeah,
and
yeah,
Die
okay.
Hard, and
Yeah.
he was always like, he played Asian bad guy in just about
Yeah.
every film, but he's like this amazing working actor.
Who's the guy? Go ahead, Greg. Sorry.
But yeah, I mean, God, I've watched foreign films. I've watched eco films that have come out of the Asian film market, and yes, they're subtitled and everything else, but that guy's just so damn good.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
What how was Storm Shadow?
Okay, so not to give too much away, but he is not really Storm Shadow in this movie.
Okay.
So the trailer, you know how they say it in the
Yeah.
trailer, like I call me. That's literally the last scene. of
That's the end credit scene, right?
Yeah,
That's what I've heard.
They're
they
getting
ex-
away the end
Yes.
credit scene
yeah,
in
In
the
the
preview,
trailer.
just for name recognition.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and what got me was in some of the interviews that I saw, or the reviews that I saw, Snake Eyes is a dick. Like,
Yeah.
through most of the film, like, he's an unlikable character.
That's what Matt said.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we're supposed to like him, and I'm like, I don't. And I've never been one to like really get into, like the anti-hero, like this guy's a total villain, but we're supposed to like him anyway.
Right.
Because they're still doing villainous thing. He's not like, oh, he was a villain, but he's really playing the hero part kind of thing. But you're like, I'm not.
You don't like anti-heroes?
It depends on how they're done.
Okay.
Like I've seen, like, Deadpool, people called him an anti-hero, but he's really not. I mean, he's doing heroic things. I mean, even they opened up the film like him doing, which is, I think, a great scene. I don't know how much was ad-lib with him and the pizza and,
Yeah.
threatening the guy that's stalking the girl. But I mean, I'm trying to think of like E.G. the Killer and some of these other, like, where they're assassins, but they're like full on bad people. To the same point, like The Godfather. Like, I've never been a huge fan of The Godfather because they're mobsters. I mean, there's no redeeming really quality to them. Or Scarface. You're watching Al Pacino and his mountain of cocaine in Scarface. There's nothing redeeming about that character, and we're supposed to enjoy the movie as him being the bad guy. And I'm like, it doesn't hit me where I want to watch a film.
Okay. That's the Superman Boy Scout part of Greg.
It very much is. Like, yeah, if I'm playing video games and I get to choose between a good guy and a bad guy,
He is always picking the good guy.
not all. I will do another playthrough of the bad guy just to see if it changes the game at all, and it never usually does.
Do you have to take a shower right after because you feel?
I do. I sometimes I feel icky. Like, I'll make a choice and I'm like, oh, that's so not good.
So what about like The Sopranos? Did you ever watch The Sopranos show?
That never really got into it. Nope.
Okay.
I tried with that too. I can't. You know what? I don't think actually. I thought it wasn't a mob guy movie until I saw Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I like that one. That's a good one.
I will say I do like Goodfellas.
Yeah.
But like even Breaking Bad. I mean, see, Breaking Bad, I got a little bit more into because he was doing it for like some right reasons. At least at the beginning, he's like, you know, teachers are paid shitty, and I need to make money for my wife and kids and healthcare. And I'm like, I can relate to that.
Right.
Not with the whole cooking meth part, but just being a teacher and not getting paid enough. But so
I thought that was a terrific way to show how greed can just
deteriorate a person.
Yeah, because the guy in the first, I think the first 2 seasons, it's like, Jesus, how's he gonna get out of this? And like he's just doing it just to get out of this, and then it leads to something else, and leads to something else. The next thing you know, he's a kingpin, and you're like, what the fuck happened to this guy? He just like
just keeps digging further.
Yeah, and it's like, oh shit, he was digging to get out of it. Now he's digging because he wants to dig it.
Yeah.
Wow. So I always thought that was interesting, and I'm a fan of Bryan Cranston. Anything he does, I'm there.
Yeah,
same with the guy that you like in Nobody.
Power Ranger days. Yeah, Bob Odenkirk.
Oaken.
Bob Odenkirk.
Yes, the guy. I like him too.
Nobody is a great film. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie.
Nobody?
Yeah. I saw it. That was one I saw it 3 times at Matt's theater, and then I bought it as soon as I could. I wasn't even gonna do like the rental on Amazon. I'm like, I'm not gonna rent it because I'm gonna buy it. So as soon as like the day it came out on a purchase, I bought it.
So how does that work? You have that in your queue now?
Yeah.
I bought that up anytime you want.
Yeah, I do still buy the digital versions of things because, that's another thing I've been torn on. Buying digital versus physical copies, because everybody's like, if a digital service goes under, all you're left with is the physical copies. I'm like, that's true, but I'm running out of machines that will play physical copies.
Yeah.
Like I have to pay up because when I got the new Xbox, I had to get the Series X to get one that actually had a disc drive. So that I could play my old games, and that's what I use as a DVD/Blu-ray player.
The new ones do not have a disc drive?
You can save $100 if you get the Xbox that's an all digital version.
So you have to download it?
No. You still get the machine, but like all your games, all your media is digital. You can't put a disc in there to actually play anything anymore.
Okay, so wait a minute. So help an old man understand this. So you're saying you have to. So the copy I buy at the store, there's nothing in there. It gives me a code and I download it or something.
Buddy, you don't need to go to a store anymore. You just go to the Xbox shop, or you go to Amazon, hit buy, and it sends it to your Xbox. Like that's for games. Like for movies, I just sign into Prime on my Xbox and watch movies on there, like you do with Netflix or anything else. Okay. But yeah, games are heading that way too. And I'm sitting on some VHS copies of things that I need to figure out how to get digital so that I don't lose them.
Oh yeah, like the Guyver.
Dude, why you got to rag on Guyver?
I'm not ragging on it. I'm just
that Guyver would be a great film. Actually, Guyver 2 would be a better film for the Underground Movie Club. Yeah. That or Krull. We should watch Krull.
Krull is good.
But like my wedding video is on VHS, and for some reason I still have like the high school productions I was in, and Krista's got some of her old like marching band competitions. I'm like, we didn't watch these on VHS often when we had a VHS player.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of struggling with do I digitize these? Do I send them away somewhere so someone can transfer them onto
do it because your kids will like it one day.
But they don't like it now. I mean, it's not like
now because you're icky now. I mean, they're teenagers. Your mom and dad, they'll like it when they're in their 20s or 30s. They'll be like,
select things. I think like the wedding video is got some sentimental value to it.
I would definitely do that.
But I've got it when we played at Camp Randall, like my senior year. I've got the videotape of that. I don't need to see that. Kids don't because the
Did you
kids
lose?
don't. Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
they also
Get rid of it.
don't need to see me being a
Never
mediocre football
existed.
player.
Never existed. Yeah. Matt, did you watch the Tomorrow War?
No, I didn't.
Do you not watch anything that's not in a theater?
Matt
Okay,
doesn't really
so-
like movies.
I love movies. I'll tell you the one that I watched that was really disappointing though was that Gunpowder Milkshake.
I was
Did you
gonna
guys
watch
watch
that
that
next.
one?
No,
Snooze.
I was going to.
Yeah, I was so disappointed by it.
Totally fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you know
I
what
was
really
into it, but and next thing I know, it's the end, and I was like, "What I missed?"
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't even get past that bowling scene. As soon as that bowling scene, bowling, oh my gosh, that fight scene was like, oh, I don't think I can do this.
Why was it like ballistic fight scene? Remember that movie Ballistic?
Ballistic versus
Yeah.
X.
Yes. X versus Sever.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. They had
Oh,
so many
that was
titles.
pretty bad.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Who
Lucy
was it?
Liu.
I think
When
it might have
Lucy
been
Liu.
on-
It was Lucy Liu and Antonio Banderas
That's
with
what
Ray
it was.
Park. Was in
Yeah.
there. He was a bad guy.
Yeah.
And Lucy Liu killed him. And even when she beat him, I was like, no. Like, I didn't believe that at all.
This isn't believable.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Tomorrow War, honestly, it doesn't look very good to me.
I was with you until I watched it.
Oh, really? So you
Yeah,
actually like
I
it?
actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Okay.
It's very
Mhm.
predictable. There's no surprises really. But again, it's not. I'm not gonna watch it again. Like, I'm trying to think of things I would actually like. I will always stop. Like if on TBS they have John Wick, I will always stop and watch whatever scene he's about to enter. But I will not. I like if they have the Tomorrow War on TBS one day when I'm cleaning the house, I'll find something else.
Well, even because it's a wait, I was gonna say it's a Netflix film, but it's
Yeah. No, it's Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
So, but my point is being like if you're not flipping through channels, like
Yes.
if maybe you've gotten rid of cable or whatever, when you're flipping through your streaming services looking for something to fold laundry to, you're gonna pass that one. I mean,
Yes.
it was a great one-time watch. Like,
Yes.
I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, me too.
But if I'm looking for something to waste time watching, I'm not doing it.
The one that I tried watching today and I lasted 8 minutes was Jolt
Oh, really? No
with
good.
Kate Beckinsale. Really stupid. I was just like, oh, okay. It's about a girl that has severe anger issues and it like kind of gives her superpowers. How angry she gets.
Like Mr. Furious from the Mystery Men.
Maybe. I mean, she doesn't
So
get like
angry.
she doesn't get an Incredible Hulk, but her reflexes speed up, her strength speeds up, she gets stronger. She can't lift a car or anything, but I mean, she's stronger than a normal person punching you, and so, but she loses her shit over the stupidest, like the way if a waiter's snotty to her, she loses her shit. And she has this little button where she presses it and it gives her an electric shock. She wears this vest that gives her an electric shock and it calms her down. And
So
she's on a
therapy.
date. She's on a date with I don't know why everybody gives this guy a bad rep as an actor. He plays a lot of bad guys. He was John Connor in the last Terminator movie. I'm sorry. He was Kyle Reese. He was Kyle Reese in Terminator.
Yeah. Shoot. What is his name?
Captain Boomerang on Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Jai Courtney.
Jai.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
I don't know why they give him a hard time. Like everybody says, like he's a horrible actor. I can't stand that guy.
Oh.
I haven't thought that, but he's having dinner with her. They're on this date, and I couldn't even get through that. It was like 8 minutes through. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. Like this is stupid. I don't know where this is going.
All of that happened in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, they
Wow.
explain this little girl like going through everything like
It's a
with her
dense
anger
movie.
management. The government gets a hold of her and tries to help her, and it's like, oh god, this is so stupid.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now you got
Speaking
me
of,
with Jai Courtney.
I was gonna say, speaking of Jai, what do you guys think about the new Suicide Squad?
I will see it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I will watch it.
I'm not excited. I will see it.
I'm undecided if I will. Yeah, I'm probably gonna come in and see it. I mean, I'll see
When
it
is
on the
it?
big screen.
Next week.
Oh, it's
Is it
week?
next week already?
Well, Thursday. So this coming Thursday is Jungle Cruise. So the week
Right.
after that, I guess.
So only in
Okay.
theaters though, right?
No,
That one's not going to
HBO.
WB, is it?
No, that's
HBO Max.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, HBO Max. Is it really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Anything DC is HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My initial was going to be. My initial was going to be I'll just watch it at home because it's Suicide Squad and the first one was not great.
The first one's terrible.
But remembering now that it's HBO and I kind of want to stick it to Warner Brothers, maybe I will come in and see it.
It's James Gunn. I mean, you guys were just
It
talking
is.
about
It is James
Guardians
Gunn.
of the Galaxy, and
You're right. Damn it. Yeah, I'll have to make time that weekend. And actually, for a while, my kids were like, "Can we watch Suicide Squad?" And I was like, "No, too adult." But now I'm just like, "Yeah, you guys can watch it."
Yeah.
They've aged up a little bit. They can watch it.
They got a lot of good people in it.
Mhm.
I'm really interested to watch John Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah. What do I say? What did I say?
Sienna?
Sienna, like
Sorry,
the Toyota.
The color.
John Cena. John Cena and
John Sepia doing. Yeah, that guy.
him play Peacemaker. I think that's going to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see Nathan Fillion.
Yeah,
I think he'll be in there for all of 2 seconds.
I
think so,
agree.
too.
He's going to
But
take off
it's
his arms
Nathan
and throw them
Fillion,
at people, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, he got in shape, which when he was getting in shape, people were like, "What is he doing?" Because he's got that cop show, The Rookie, and people were saying,
Still?
I thought, is it's not still on? I don't really watch that.
I don't know either.
He had the cop show, The Rookie, if it's
Yes.
not on anymore. But he was starting to get in shape for Suicide Squad, and people are like, "Wow, look at him! He's getting like working out his arms and doing some stuff." And I'm like, "Oh, he's in a superhero movie." Like it was just like that hit me. Who's he going to be? I actually thought he might have been Red Guardian, but then it came out he's in Suicide Squad, and I went, no.
Yeah, I think I'm with Greg on this. I'm very hesitant to watch this
Mhm.
movie because if James Gunn can't pull this off, then it's going to make me think, well, then no one's going to pull off Suicide Squad unless you get 5 heavy hitters like
Taika
Deathstroke,
Waititi?
the Joker. No, I mean like you got to add
character wise.
Yeah, you got to add and look, I'm getting a little hit over the head a little too much with Harley Quinn.
We all are. Like
I just
Yeah.
want her to get shot in the face and die. I'm done. Like, okay. Like, stop that. I don't know why they're pushing that one. Maybe they're trying to make her the Deadpool of DC. I don't know. It's not working.
Yeah.
I think the big thing with Suicide Squad is that you have so many characters, and unlike Marvel, you don't have the opportunity to introduce them. You're throwing them
Yeah.
all into one movie,
Yeah.
1 2-hour movie. It's going to be really tough, but you got to admit, if James Gunn does that, that's going to be pretty darn.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, the other
impressive.
thing about Suicide Squad is that, yeah, they're throwing all these characters in there, but they're throwing all these C and D list characters up in there that they don't give a shit if they kill off.
Right.
Be like, yeah, we put this guy in the movie, he gonna die.
Right.
But it wasn't the condiment king.
Condiment King. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. That guy. They had Polka Dot Man, right?
Oh yeah, that's his brother. That's his brother's character.
Oh,
James
is it really?
Gunn's brother,
Okay, James Gunn's
played
brother.
by, what's his name, Scott or something like that.
That's his brother. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the guy
I
who
don't think
who
it is.
does. Yes,
I
it
think
is.
he's Weasel.
No. Well, it's the guy who does the motion capture for Rocket. You're gonna make me look him up.
I am.
He-
I don't think it's. Well, it
he
might be
played-
the guy that does motion capture, but I don't think it's his brother.
Yes, it is.
It's like a real actor, isn't he? I mean, it
Yeah,
seems
that's
like
what I
Yeah. He for years he was on Gilmore Girls.
he was,
Playing Kurt.
He was the bad cop in The Dark Knight. The one
Was he?
that's the one that that got flipped or whatever. Or he was actually the one that was not really a cop, but he was wearing a cop uniform.
No, man, it's
Ooh,
David.
that's a
David
different
Dash
guy.
Machinella or something.
Yeah,
That's a different guy?
That is a different guy. Yeah.
Oh.
But I could see where you would get those two mixed up. Because I'm going to show you Sean Gunn.
Yeah, Sean Gunn is Weasel.
And Sean Gunn is brother to
Yes.
James Gunn. I'm going to do a share screen here. Pow. James Gunn. If we go...
You mean Sean Gunn?
Sean Gunn. Sorry. Sean Gunn. If we go to his bio.
Right. He's not Polka Dot Man, though.
No, Polka Dot Man. Isn't Polka Dot Man the guy I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh, is it? Are we getting
Yeah.
we're getting crossed over on
Oh,
Commodity.
okay. That's
No,
what I thought you were
are.
saying was the brother of
Shut
James
up, John.
Gunn.
What isn't he in? I thought he was in.
He is.
Suicide
He's
Squad.
Weasel.
Oh, I thought you were okay. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, here he is, Weasel. There you go.
Completed.
Plays a
Oh,
what if.
he's in What If, huh?
Well, he plays Kraglin, so he's.
Are you excited
back
about
for
What
that.
If?
Yes,
are?
yes.
We got 3 more Kraglins coming up here. He's in Guardians 3, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, he must be motion capture. Oh, what's his thing there? What is it? Craig Jin and Thunder, Love and Thunder.
Oh, Kraglin, and then he's the Onset Rocket. So he's the one in the green suit.
Yeah. Do you know who? What's the other one? Close before midnight. Do you know
whatever.
the Do you know that character, Greg? Kraglin?
Kraglin? No.
Yeah, from Thor. Do you know that at all or no?
Well, that's the same person he's been in Guardians of the Galaxy. That's his character's name.
He's the
that's right, because
Ravager,
Thor's
whatever,
with
right?
Yeah,
yeah,
the
'cause Thor's with,
Ravager Lieutenant.
yeah, because Thor's with the Guardians. That's right. I forgot about that. So you did Loki,
Yes.
Matt? You liked it?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Out of the 3, how do you rank them? The 3 Disney Pluses that came out.
Loki, WandaVision, Falcon.
That's where
Yep.
Greg and I sit. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What'd you? Why do you think Falcon and Winter Soldier was so?
Because that's what I kept thinking to myself watching it. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was
you kept going, oh my god, what am I supposed to care about somebody in this?
right.
Yeah. I thought to myself, God, they walk a lot. Because I just felt like that's all they're doing in this show is action. Then they're walking from place to place.
Yeah.
And the only time it got really interesting was when Bucky was discovering that Wakanda was following him. I'm like, oh, okay.
That
What are
was
we gonna
kinda
get
cool.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, I'm like, oh, they're just gonna talk.
Yeah.
The
And then
weird
he's gonna go walk.
Popeye face Captain American guy. I forget what they ended up making his name, but he
Do you
kinda
know
looked
what's
like
funny?
Popeye did.
My sister loves John Walker.
Oh,
I said,
really?
are you nuts? I'm like, do you actually like the actor, like Wyatt? Like you like Wyatt? Her son's name is Wyatt. But I'm like, do you like the actor or do you like John Walker the character? She's like, oh no, I just like the character. I'm like, wow.
Was she a big U.S. agent fan?
No,
Before?
She doesn't know anything about Marvel. She comes to me for Marvel and as much as I go to her for Star Wars.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything about Marvel. Her Marvel is this universe.
Okay.
She doesn't know comics or anything like.
She liked that character. That's kind of surprising.
How?
It was
What?
weird.
Why?
I thought it was
Like,
weird.
what-
I don't know. Well, as
what's
we're
the
walking
draw?
down the aisle and she's talking to me, because I was talking about, like, spoiler alert for Black Widow. I was like, yeah, that Contessa girl, Fontaine or something like that. I'm like, she's recruiting now. She recruited Walker. Now she's recruited, Yelena.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, Walker, I like that guy. And person sweeping up. What do they call them? Ushers?
What are you talking about? Were you in a wedding or something?
No. We were at the theater.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then yes,
Yeah.
it's still an
Usher.
usher.
Yeah.
Okay, and so she's sweeping up all the popcorn and crap, and she goes, "Oh, I hate that racist." And we were like, Racist? Like, I can't remember John Walker being a racist."
Yeah.
Yeah, me and her both stopped what we were doing. We looked at each other like, "What?" And I thought, okay, I'm not gonna talk this with you. I'm just gonna leave. But
Yeah.
I thought it was weird that she said that.
Racist.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he was
couldn't-
going. I mean, I suppose the Flag Smashers were
They're supposed
Yeah,
to be racist,
mixed.
but they're not.
But
in
they're
the
not in the show.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
funny.
don't know what that was about, but anyway, yeah, that's how we felt about Falcon and Winter Soldier. Did you like the new Captain America? You like that he's the new guy? You okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
like Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a stand-up guy.
Yeah.
I would have honestly. I think I would have been fine if it was Bucky.
either or.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to give the shield to a guy that killed Tony Stark's parents.
Yeah.
That's not general knowledge.
Kind of, but it isn't MCU knowledge.
Well, yeah. I'm looking up this John Walker is a racist thing. So I'm like, how did I miss something in the
Is it-
show?
A tweet from.
I
his
think that's how
past,
someone felt about him, and they were wrong.
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anywho, all right, man.
All
What
right.
else, Matt? What else, Matt?
I got nothing. You know, I was thinking. It was just one thing I was thinking about when we were talking about Blu-rays and discs and stuff. Do you think the real media, like the actual media, is going to go by the wayside at some point if all these streaming services are just doing downloads and
Well,
digital codes?
I do.
I want to say yes, but I know a lot of people out there that still they buy exclusively steelbooks, like
Yeah.
the DVD steelbook cases, or
What's
the
the
Blu-ray
point of that?
steelbooks collection.
Or just
Collection.
okay, just collection.
For the same people that buy leather-bound books so that they can have
Okay.
a shelf in their house
with books.
that's a giant library. And I think it's probably the same. I think it might go the way of like vinyl, like people still
I
really-
was just gonna say that. That was gonna be my example.
so probably, I mean, for me, no, I'm almost all digital now anyway. I can't remember the last time I bought like a physical copy of a DVD.
I
Well, yeah, I think I can too. It was John Wick 2 or John Wick 3. And I got the case that had the digital code, and I've never watched the DVD. It's just the digital code.
the last one I got was Endgame, and then 3 months later I got Endgame on Disney Plus.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I mean, because like Black Friday and stuff like that, you can get DVDs for dirt cheap and stuff like that. And I think about it. I'll be looking at it and I'm like, oh, yeah, I can grab that movie. And then I start to go, okay, what out of my streaming services is that usually on? And now that they're starting to diversify a little bit more, it makes it tougher. Like HBO is going to take a hit because Universal is backing Peacock because it's the same company.
Are we allowed to play trailers on here, or are we gonna get in trouble?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't know what YouTube says about that one. But so now you're just thinking of like, oh, I want to watch this movie. Well, is that streaming on Netflix, on Amazon, on this, on that, or the other thing? And like you start to wonder when I mean, and I know it's probably on one of them. So then you're Googling stuff, and I'm like, well, yes, it's only $7 for the DVD on the Black Friday sale, but nah,
Right.
I'll skip it.
What about you, Matt? What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, for me personally, the only time I buy movies is if we're going to do something for the underground movie club, and I need a physical media to put into our Blu-ray player to play on the big screen, But for me personally, like between Lorraine and I, we pretty much just depend on streaming. And
Yeah.
we figure if there's something that we really want to watch, we're going to find it somewhere, or we can rent it even on the fly from YouTube or Amazon or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I stopped buying DVDs a long time ago. I used to be a DVD, like I would just get one every Tuesday when they come out on Target or something, I grab it.
Yeah.
But now I said like, oh, I'm going to continue to buy them for the Marvel movies and that's it. But now they've screwed me because they're not going to make those Disney Plus things on DVD. I don't think. So now I don't have the collection the right way. I don't like.
I thought I did see a DVD release date for the Marvel series, though.
The What If?
No, for like Loki and.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like box sets.
Huh.
So maybe they still will.
Maybe
I
still.
still think I'm pretty much
done.
digital. I mean, what I like, I like the movies at home app that kind of will combine all your stuff so that you're not jumping to different, like I don't have to jump to Voodoo and Google and Amazon
I get
stuff
that,
to get all the same things. So I like that. If that weren't there, I could see myself being more of a physical copy guy. But I mean, I used to display all my boxes proudly,
Yep.
alphabetical order by genre. And then I was like, no, I can't do that anymore. So then I went to the binders, my thick CD binders full of movies and stuff like that.
Okay.
I still kept all my boxes. I have a box of DVD boxes in the basement. But now I'm like, do I even really need these anymore? I mean,
Yeah.
but there are things that I own on DVD that I know I can't get streaming anywhere, like Guyver 2 or Guyver 1.
I've never heard of these movies, but
Oh
I'm
man,
intrigued.
it's okay. So it's based off of an anime that they made live action. The first one, they put Mark Hamill on the box cover. He is not the star of that film. He's like the gritty detective that is in it for less than half the movie. But the martial arts action, bio boosted armor kind of stuff. Man in suit versus alien in suit kind of thing.
The Blue Beetle.
The Blue Beetle.
What? Blue Beetle.
The new Blue Beetle. The Henry Ramirez.
Yeah,
or
kind of like that.
It's him.
But more violent anime. Like the second movie is just bad movie, good kung fu. It's kind of
Gotcha.
It reminds me of you guys remember Inspector Man? Japanese. They had this phase where it was basically some guy and somehow he had the power where he got himself bigger and he would fight what do you call a giant
Kaiju.
He would fight kaiju. Like that happened all the time.
Do you mean Ultraman?
Nope, I mean Inspector Man.
Inspector Man, not Spectre Man.
I can even remember the song Spectre Man. Dun, 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 dun. It was horrible, but I loved it when I was a kid.
Oh, no.
He had a huge horn. He had a brown jacket. He looked like the Rocketeer, but instead he had like this Japanese face mask, Iron Man type looking thing.
Yeah, that's
Adam Greg?
Yeah, I do. It's Spectre Man.
Oh, Spectre Man. My bad. Spectre Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that was the guy I loved watching. I forgot what channel that was on, but I used to love that show. And now I've watched it again, like I caught on YouTube, and I was like, oh, God.
Didn't age very well, huh?
No. Hey, Matt, have you watched the Indiana Jones trilogy lately?
I wouldn't say lately. Yeah. I did watch Raiders of the Lost Ark just less than a month ago.
Oh, do you think it held up?
Yeah, I would go with yes for the most part.
I still don't know what happened. Can you explain to me? Maybe I just completely forgot this, or they just didn't write this in because they thought everybody would just ignore it. What happened to Indiana Jones on the submarine? Did it go back down? Like, did it go under and he held his breath the entire time?
No, you see him. You see him get in
the hatch open.
Yeah.
Oh,
because he punches the guy at the top of the hat. Or am I thinking of the tank?
No. Now you're inventing stuff.
The tank, but no, you see him as he's waving. He gets in the hatch, and you see it.
He does. I didn't see that because I just watched it. I didn't see that. It's the first time I sat there and went, "How the hell did they just? They weren't underneath the water, like."
Well, and to be fair, a lot of submarines in that era, they weren't underwater all the time. Like they did run atop until they would find ships, and then they would submerge.
Okay, so maybe you got lucky.
Little history lesson for you there, John.
Yeah, cool. All right, man. All right. I think we're good. I think we're golden. Matt, thank you for jumping on. Thank you for handling the He-Man
our little tiff.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay.
Ursula, we finally
you guys worked it out. That's what's important.
Hopefully, we haven't worked it out.
Oh
no, we haven't worked it out.
But we lost. You said so.
No, I took the loss on the Star Wars that people would still show up. Right. He-Man, no, I'm not.
We're gonna be fighting over this over dinner for years to come.
Firm on that for sure. Matthew, thank you for jumping on. We really appreciate it as always. You want to plug in what good movies are coming this week? This would be this podcast coming on Thursday, so your movies are coming Friday. What are they?
Yeah, so we've got Jungle Cruise starring The Rock, who can do no wrong.
Cannot do no wrong. But he has a beautiful co-host with, not co-host, co-actor with him.
Emily Blunt.
I love her. She's my crush.
Yeah.
I love that girl.
Yeah, that's a good crush. Attainable too.
Yeah, I just gotta get rid of that John Krasinski.
Right.
What's
Who's
his
that
name?
guy anyway?
Yeah.
And then next week, like I said, Suicide Squad. That's gonna be huge.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah.
That
cool.
And then Free Guy. So it just keeps going.
I've heard that's actually the early reviews are coming in. I heard that's a really, really good movie, and I'm not excited about that at all. But to me it just seems like a goofy movie, but I've heard it's really good, so I'm
game for Free Guy. I wanted to see that, 2 years ago or whatever. We got the preview for it.
Did anybody see the one with where he's like the bodyguard, the sequel?
Yeah, we played it.
Was it
Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife?
Did it suck?
It wasn't as good as the first one.
It became too slapstick, right?
Yeah, I thought so.
That's what I thought.
And there was a lot of Selma. Like, it was supposed to be Selma's movie, and I didn't.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you're just selling it for me a little bit harder.
Matt, there's nothing wrong with that. Matt, does she run?
Yeah, there's some running.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if, did Ryan Reynolds work for free on that day where he just face plants, square in her ass? Because that would be... did they yell cut? He'd be like, "You don't have to pay me today."
You know what?
We
should do that a couple
You're welcome,
more times.
Selma. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it was okay, but it wasn't as good as the first one.
It was probably the same thing that happened to George Clooney on Dusk Till Dawn during that strip scene. He was probably like, "Yeah, we're good," or he was probably the one going, "Can we do that take again?"
I need another take.
I don't think. Yeah. So, all right, Matt. Again, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Next time, I'll be a little bit more informed and watch something. Watch something not in the movie theater.
No, we learned a lot with movie theater stuff. So, Greg, any last words for our audience?
Oh, as you're going through the week and you're reading all this news, you got to remember a couple of things. First, you got to check your sources and make sure you're not just spouting bullshit. Number two, you got to know your audience and how to communicate with them. And then 3, as you're doing all that, just don't be a douche.
All right. For Matt Sampon.
Close enough.
I'm Johnny. That's the Greg. We'll catch you later. Thank you for listening. Take care, everybody.
See you guys.